I remember the first 3D movie I ever saw. I don't remember much, but I do remember there was a point where they threw a frisbee at me. The gimmick was to throw the frisbee back, and I was way too young to handle that. I just remember freaking out because I had a frisbee flying at my head. Of course, when I saw my 3D movie for the first time, it was around the 1990s when it first started becoming worldwide. 3D films originally started in the 1950s in America, but because of lack of technology, they were not able to spread it. And of course, nowadays, it's starting to pop up because we have great technology that allows everybody to have 3D. You see, the problem I have with 3D films isn't the fact that it's in 3D, it's the fact that the movie clearly does not need the 3D. It's just an add-on. Like when 3D first started coming out, they based the movie off the 3D. They didn't take a movie and go, alright, we're gonna slap some 3D on there as well to make it look awesome. Well, maybe not Jaws 3 in 3D. Reaching new depths of terror. Nowadays, it seems like every movie is in 3D. Coraline, 3D. Alice in Wonderland, 3D. Jackass, in 3D. Today just feels like filmmakers have to rely on 3D to bring in more money for their shitty movies. And for a long time I felt like I was the only one who was against all this 3D. So I did some research and I found quite a lot. I even found an article written by Roger Ebert. Maybe you've heard of him? The article was in Newsweek and it was entitled, "Why I Hate 3D and You Should Too." He brought up several good points. 1. It's a waste of a dimension. Let's face it, when you see somebody running at you on screen, you don't go, "Oh, look at him, he's growing at the horizon." No, you think, "Oh my god, he's coming right at us." 2. It adds nothing to the experience. 3. It can be a distraction. Sometimes when you're watching a 3D movie and something comes out at you, you kind of lose track of what's going on behind the object. Instead, all your focus is on this one thing. 4. 3D movies can actually cause headaches and nausea in some people. A lot of people actually walk around with minor eye problems and don't realize this. When they go into a 3D movie, they don't realize that it takes their eyes more effort to focus on the screen because of the 3D, thus giving them a headache when they leave the theater. Of course people are going to get nauseated from 3D as well. I mean, if you have stuff flying out at you too, it's going to make you sick. 5. Some 3D movies are actually a lot dimmer than their 2D counterparts. This is because the projector oftentimes doesn't have enough power to project the 3D film. You also have to take in consideration that you're wearing those big 3D glasses. It's just another barrier that light has to pass through for you to be able to watch the 3D movie. So in the end, you're watching a pretty dim film. Number 6. This one is my personal favorite because I'm a low-income college student. Many of you know it's already expensive to go to the movie theaters nowadays anyway. I mean, last time I went to the rave, I had to pay like $20 for 2 tickets. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous just to see a movie. The worst part about 3D is that they're gonna slap another $5 to $7 onto that. So if you wanted to go see a movie, 2 people, you're looking at probably about $34. Let's not forget about the snacks. Number 7. Can anybody really imagine seeing a dramatic film in 3D? Like, let's say we put The Hurt Locker in 3D. Or what about Fargo? How thrilling would that be in 3D? When James Cameron released his movie Avatar, he built the whole movie around putting it in 3D, and did so very effectively. And of course, when the marketing executives saw how successful Avatar was, they decided to expand the 3D horizon by making every film that was coming out in 3D. Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland was not originally meant to be in 3D. Because of the success, marketing executives forced Tim into making his film a 3D movie. And of course, number 8, last and final point. Whenever Hollywood has felt threatened, they brought out some kind of new technology. Let's list a few of these new technologies. Sound was one of them. Color was definitely another one. 3D. Cinerama was actually one. Stereophonic sound. What's that last one? 3D. Again. TV has always been out to destroy film. And with new technologies like we have today, Blu-ray, HD cables, home digital projectors, just proves that TV's still trying to get it. And what does 3D do? Make it harder for TV to do that. So now, the 3D world is expanding into our living room, into TVs, into video games, even into computers. My question is, where does it stop? So I decided to go out and see what other people had to say about the whole 3D situation in itself. So I went to the one place where I know I would get a respected opinion. My workplace. Alright, Phil. Out of the films you've seen in like the past month or like year, how many have you seen that were in 3D?
None.
None. Do you not prefer to see things in 3D, or is it because it's too expensive?
It's expensive for no reason. 1, 2, there's no need for it to be in 3D. And 3, it gives me a headache, so I prefer not to see 3D.
So a headache. So would you be for or against moving towards the 3D world? Because nowadays there's TVs, there's computers, there's video game systems like the Nintendo DS 3D.
I think it should be available, but I'm against for it being universalized because, like I said, some people don't prefer it, so I'm against it.
Do you find it useful in any way? Like the 3D? It may not benefit you, but do you think it would benefit somebody else?
Not really.
Yeah?
No.
Alright, out of all the films you've seen, how many were in 3D in the past, like, 3 months?
Just Avatar.
Just Avatar. Did you enjoy the 3D?
I did enjoy an Avatar because it was done correctly with 2 cameras, and not just like the fake 3D where you have to wear glasses and then it like kind of gives you motion sickness. If you watch Avatar even without the glasses, you can tell that there's a foreground and a background, and it's very distinct.
So what you're saying is that, like, the digital animation that they used made it seem 3D?
And the filming technique, I think. Because when you look at Avatar versus other movies, when it focuses on something, the rest goes blurry.
Yeah.
But in Avatar, there's stuff in the foreground and the background, and it's all in focus because of the way they filmed it.
Yeah.
They're able to do that. So I think that adds a certain thing to the film.
So you wouldn't say it's a crutch at all?
No, I don't think they're leaning on it. I think it helps make the movie better. It's not like they're just relying on the fact that it's 3D to make the movie.
Because I know I've said this before, but like I basically say it's like Fern Gully, just a few years down the road.
Fern Gully and Pocahontas.
Yeah.
We all know it's the classic. Dances with Wolves, classic. Guy meets the king's daughter. That's a cool story. It's been done before, obviously, but think about it. Lion King is just Hamlet. But Lion King is still a great movie. So just because it's a remake doesn't mean it's bad. It just means a different version.
Alright. With TVs and computers and everything coming out now, like they even have Nintendo DS, like 3D. Do you think that progressing towards this 3D world would benefit us in any way, or do you think it's just kind of a gimmick?
Well, it is a gimmick as far as what we're seeing nowadays, in my opinion, because once Avatar came out, all of a sudden you had like a mass rush of 3D movies for no reason.
Yeah.
Like Despicable Me in 3D. What?
Yeah. Who wants to see Justin Bieber in 3D?
Those things don't need to be 3D. That's a crutch. And the types of 3D that we're seeing nowadays are, gimmicky and stupid and silly, and just because 3D is cool, it's the wave of the future. I think eventually we're gonna move on to like actual like cool looking 3D where it's like it does present like a great venue in order to like describe the story or whatever it needs to do, but as far as right now, I don't think it's really accomplishing what they set out to do.
I think what it's doing right now, and this is just my opinion, is like they've had 3D before way back, and it died out. It was a fad, and now it's coming back. Do you think that's because we have better technology now? So what you're saying is like down the road we may have even better technology, more sophisticated, that 3D will be more of a common thing than it is even today.
Yes, it'll be not only more common but better, I think is the key, because like they've had Blackberries for how long? Years and years.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we have like a smartphone wave because they finally figured out how to do it right. and like the whole touchscreen. Now it's basically like you carry a computer in your pocket. But 2 years ago, that wasn't even the case. So as technology progresses, you just get better and better. And at first, it was just a fad, like, oh, you have a BlackBerry. You remember what were they called? Palm Pilot?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. PDA.
yeah, a PDA, exactly. But it just got way better.
Yeah.
Most people agree that 3D isn't that great of a thing. It gives you a headache, way too expensive, it's not well done, and most of the time is reserved for movies that don't even need it. Basically, 3D is a crutch for movies that just don't have a strong plot. And yes, it may seem like 3D is in full swing right now, but in a few years it'll die out until we have better technology for us to further explore the 3D world. I can only hope that those movies that are made in the future using 3D are based, like Avatar, entirely on the sole idea of making it in 3D.